The footage you are now seeing is of Joshua Tree National Park, one of the only patches of desert in Southern California that has remained relatively untouched since the state of California has become a part of the United States mainland. The purity of the land is greatly thanks to multiple provisions to keep it clean, such as the Antiquities Act of 1906 and the California Desert Protection Act of 1994. Visitors who commute to this beautiful desert park can indulge in hiking, overnight camping, and other outside activities. Unfortunately, however, a sight as clean and pleasing as this in the desert is an increasingly rare sight for most inhabitants of the Mojave Desert. California's Recycling Division alone reports that annually 42.7 million tons of trash is generated in California, and most of it doesn't make the landfill. Instead, most of the native trash ends up in the desert that has remained unoccupied by humans thus far at least. But this ongoing, steady stream of garbage caused by the laziness, carelessness, and ignorance of humans is slowly poisoning our beautiful deserts, causing adverse effects to the landscape and the wildlife that lives within it. This is the desert tortoise, a species of tortoise native to the Mojave and Sonoran deserts. This hulking creature matures slowly, but also can grow to be quite old, with a lifespan of 50 to 80 years. But even though this turtle can rival a human's lifespan, their occurrences in nature have been declining in the years past. And the sole reason for their decline can be pinpointed to habitat changes caused by humans. In a 2007 article of the Western North American Naturalist, the magazine reported the negative effects of pollution on desert tortoises in the Mojave Desert specifically, and the authors point out that tortoises dying due to being stuck in or caught in litter isn't a rare sight. In fact, after witnessing one of the tortoises consuming a latex balloon, they had recorded that in one open desert patch that they were studying in, over 175 balloons alone had polluted the area in a 6-month period. But the desert tortoise is not the only animal species affected by litter. Far from it. Many native desert animals and creatures are hurt or otherwise inconvenienced by the trash that invades their homes. For example, aluminum cans to the eyes of a gecko or a desert salamander, let's say, may provide much appreciated shade in the hot desert sun. However, once inside the metal bottle, it may be difficult or near impossible for the critter to leave the can, which especially becomes an issue when the can becomes a conductor for the heat around it. And if the critter does not escape, it may be cooked alive. Household pets are also unfortunately not immune to the garbage plague either. Stray or lost pets like dogs and cats may find themselves in life-threatening situations in which they are caught in or trapped by trash. I'll just let some of these example photos play for themselves. During the making of this video, I wanted to film parts of the desert that had abundances of garbage and litter pooling in its environment. I wished to do this because I was hopeful to capture a bad section of pollution affecting the areas closest to me and my home. What I did not anticipate, however, was how easy to find these illegal landfills were, and just how common they could be. The video you are viewing at this moment is a section of desert not even a 10 minutes drive away from my home. In this video, you can see some of the discarded trash that has been left to rot in the countryside, including a boat, several pieces of furniture, along with shoes and various other articles of abandoned clothing. Something you may not expect, however, is that this is all part of what seems to be a small group of squatters living in trailers in the middle of the desert, meaning that people live in the area previously described, and this is how they dispose of their waste. I did not choose to film the human body waste that I had found in the desert, for what should be obvious reasons. After finishing all the filming that I had wanted to do at the previous location, I wanted to tape something else that I wanted to show. which would encapsulate a personal experience on how the pollution problems affected the landscape around me and inhibited me from having fun and, well, general good times in the open desert. The tape on display now is of a spot that people at my school have dubbed the Mini Grand Canyon, a dried-up small ravine that can be explored through and trailed. Sometimes, after school, me and some of my friends would gather here to explore, talk, play, and enjoy the view. But since I had transitioned grades over the past summer, and my friends and I had been on hiatus from school, and thus the canyon, the site of what was once a natural paradise for my friends and I had since been polluted to the point of hazard. On video now is a collection of the pollution that is gathered in the spot. In the spots of the ravine where there had once been small holes, spray-painted tires filled their place. In the Joshua trees and bushes were pieces of furniture, or in this case a stuffed panda bear. And in everything in between, various pollutants had gathered like mattresses, plastics, and even wrappers for food. Is the human feeling of laziness and carelessness worth tarnishing the beautiful view and landscape of the desert? Is destroying the habitat's natural flow for wildlife worth the extra half hour of the day that is usually instead spent creating more garbage? Is this the life that we really want? So after hearing all of the aforementioned detriments to the well-being of the desert's natural health, you may be wondering what ways you can help. Fortunately, you can help in a multitude of ways, but you would have to commit to living in a way that benefits nature and attempt to convince others to do the same. Obviously, the biggest thing you can do is dispose of your trash safely and responsibly. Sort your waste by recycling and reusing what you can, and properly separate the non-recyclables into their own bin. Dispose of these in designated areas like a dump or recycling donation center. The second thing you could do, which is arguably just as important as the previous method, is to cut back on living a lifestyle that produces a considerable amount of waste. This means to use reusable appliances like solid plates instead of disposable paper plates, or a cloth bag instead of a plastic grocery bag. Another way you can help maintain the environment is by helping to clean the areas surrounding, perhaps by picking up litter or disposing of waste found. You would have to make this activity a regular occurrence, however, since the trash will inevitably return. This earth is the only home we have, and most people treat it as if it is as disposable as a red Solo cup. But if more people can be determined to preserve this beautiful planet, we may be able to win against the ongoing war against pollution. Thank you for watching. They cast a spell right from